Hey everyone, it's Drummond. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I'm posting my next video. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about loneliness, and I think that it's something that a lot of us can relate to, and I think that it's really important for people to realize that there are a lot of different types of loneliness, because you can be surrounded by tons and tons of people and still feel extremely lonely. Something that I've been dealing with a lot recently is the fact that so many people think that just because I have a large following on my social platforms that I am just always surrounded by people and that I never really face the loneliness problem. And to be honest, I am probably lonely 90% of the time. Honestly, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of times we perceive certain type of people as the type of people that are just surrounded by people all the time. And for me personally, yes, there are a lot of people that send me messages online and comment on my pictures and like my posts and watch my videos. But at the end of the day, I spend most of my time at my apartment by myself. Some of that is time that I need by myself, while other times it would be nice to kind of get those random messages from people and say, hey, I'm going on a hike, would love for you to come. Hey, I'm going out to grab lunch, would love for you to come. But I hardly get those types of messages. The reason I titled this video Pretty Lonely is because I've had a lot of people kind of slap me in the face with the "at least you're pretty." And for me, that is an extremely painful thing to kind of have to deal with, because for me personally, being attractive or being found attractive by a certain group of people doesn't really fix the problem of me feeling lonely. A lot of times I spend the day trying to kind of push myself through and avoiding the negative thoughts and just kind of putting myself in as many positive situations as possible, whether it's doing positive talks on my Instagram or messaging people that I really care about. But a lot of times I feel like when the messages are rolling into my inbox, a lot of them have to do with the sexual desires that people have around the image of me. And at the end of the day, when you're feeling lonely and when you want to feel connected with someone, getting those sexualized messages after you post a picture on Instagram or whenever you do anything on social media, and that's the kind of response you can get. I honestly have posted things where I'm just like having a really rough day, and the responses that I get are, "It's all right, you're gorgeous," or other compliments in that sense, but no one really kind of takes that time to say, hey, what's wrong? Or hey, how are you doing? And that's something that I try to do on the regular when I see people that I care about kind of struggling, but it's not very often that I get that in return. And I think that that leaves me feeling very lonely in a lot of different ways. Yes, there are people that really do care about me, and I am lucky to have those types of people in my life. But at the end of the day, there aren't a lot of people here in Richmond that do that, and it's kind of hard to deal with on a daily basis. I know that one conversation I was having with a friend was, when it comes to loneliness, there are different types of loneliness. So for me, my loneliness kind of comes from the fact that there are a lot of people messaging me, but no one seems to want to go deeper into a conversation or want to get to know me on a deeper level than sexualizing me. While other people might deal with the loneliness of not having people message them. And at the end of the day, both of these people are lonely, and both of those are valid. And I think that too often people on this side of the spectrum are kind of looked at as, why are you complaining? You have tons and tons of people messaging you. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that there's tons of people messaging you that you're attractive, because that doesn't really fill the need of feeling like someone cares about you, because they don't want to know anything about you. They don't ask anything deeper than, can I get a dick pic? And for me personally, that leaves me feeling really, really lonely. And I think that it's important for us to kind of touch on that subject, because a lot of times we see celebrities that we think that have it all, and then we see them commit suicide or start drug addictions or other things. And I think that too often we kind of excuse when they say, I'm lonely, I'm feeling depressed, I'm just not feeling happy anymore, because we look at their success, we look at the fact that they're surrounded by tons of people or they get a lot of attention online. But at the end of the day, none of that really kind of fills that need to feel connected with another person. And another thing that I've been dealing with a lot since I moved here to Richmond is the fact that a lot of people do recognize me from my social media platforms. And that can be a struggle because I feel like a lot of people kind of have these preconceived notions of who you are as a person instead of trying to get to know you in person. And I've had a lot of people kind of say, well, I know who you are, or this person's told me who you are. In a lot of those instances, these people don't know who I am as a person because the only person that they know is the person that posts pictures or does positive talks or creates YouTube videos. And like I've said in a lot of my other videos, when it comes to the percentage of me I share online, it is very small. So when it comes to people's opinions of me, they are creating a lot more of an opinion on me based upon a very small fact about me. And I think that it's important for us to all realize that instead of kind of assuming we know someone, maybe we should take the time to kind of get to know them as an individual. And instead of making that getting to know them session, interview session, try to get to know them organically and just kind of live through experiences instead of trying to set it up like an interview to where you're like, okay, do you agree with this? What do you think about this? How about your opinion on this? Because I think at the end of that type of interaction, you really didn't get to know them because you're asking questions to kind of shape them into the person that you want them to be or you think they are. And at the end of the day, I think that if you just kind of live through experiences, whether it's going on a hike or kayaking or skydiving or anything that's really just an adventure for you to kind of create a new experience with this person, I feel like you kind of get to know them in a way that's so different than if you just sit there and ask them tons of questions. I think another thing that I've realized when it comes to the dating scene is the fact that a lot of people, when it comes to asking me out on a date, it's like, hey, let's go watch a movie at my house or your house and we can cuddle. And a lot of times the messages start flowing in around the 10 p.m. time range instead of maybe the let's go get some lunch or let's go watch a movie at a theater or let's go on a hike during the weekend or hey, let's make some plans instead of kind of last minute types of things. Because I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to these last minute hangout sessions, a lot of times people are just kind of interested in one thing. And it seems like when I let people know, hey, up front, I'm not interested in hooking up with you, I would rather get to know you as a person, a lot of people seem to kind of stray away from wanting to hang out. And honestly, for me, at the end of the day, when it comes to having someone who's just interested in having sex with me versus someone who wants to be a friend or someone who wants to get to know me on a deeper level, I think that having people who are just interested in sex leaves me feeling very alone because it's like they don't want to do any of the hard work of developing a friendship and getting to know me. They'd rather just kind of message me when they're horny and then just kind of disappear if I am not willing to help them solve their issue. I mean, I'm the type of person that I enjoy sex, but for me personally, if this person is only coming around whenever they're horny, then I am not interested in being that person because I don't like kind of feeling used as a person and then kind of just left high and dry whenever this person has gotten off, and then the next time that they feel horny, then hey, hit me up again. I know there's a lot of reasons behind why people do that type of thing, but for me personally, at the end of the day, I don't want to do something that kind of makes me feel even more lonely than I already am. And for me, I've dealt with so many different people setting up like, hey, let's hang out this weekend, and then they stand me up and I end up feeling even more lonely. So for me personally, I work really hard to kind of build relationships and friendships with the people around me that aren't going to stand me up, because dealing with loneliness sucks. And for me personally, I don't want to continue to try to build relationships with people who are constantly letting me down and making me feel like crap every single time they stand me up. So yeah, in comparison, you've got some people who deal with a lot of attention, but they get stood up or have to kind of go on dates to kind of be weeded through and treated like crap, versus some people who might be lonely because they aren't getting that type of attention, But at the end of the day, both of those types of lonelinesses hurt. And for me personally, I'm trying my best to kind of navigate through that and not allow it to impact me on a daily basis to where it impacts the type of work that I'm doing as well as the friendships that I do have with the people in my life. So hopefully everyone enjoyed this video, and like always, feel free to leave some comments in the comment section below. I love hearing from you all, and make sure you check out my other social media platforms. I'll leave that link down below as well. I did activate my Patreon account for those of you who are interested in getting a deeper dive in behind the scenes, as well as getting early access to all of the content that I create, as well as some extras that the average person won't get to see on my social media platforms. Definitely go check that out, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.